So click on the record on my computer button. So share my screen with you. So that means sharing my screen again here. Thinking of objects. So it's a very good foundation. 2 chapters to think about objects and the classes. Very good. Just thinking about objects now, because thinking about classes, thinking about objects. Adriano is rejoining us, I think. So thinking about objects, thinking about classes are very important. So object-oriented programming. Can you tell me what is the meaning of object-oriented programming? You should know what you're doing. So that's why I'm asking you.
Sorry, Professor, the connection's lagging. We weren't able to understand what you asked.
Oh, really? Okay. So let me just press the button again here. Okay. Now you're able to see it. Are you able to hear or no? Probably my
Sounds
headphone.
Yeah, it's good.
Headphone. So what is object-oriented programming?
It's a programming paradigm different than the procedural or the functional paradigm.
Procedural paradigm is like a program is set of functions. That's what it is. Procedural paradigm means a procedure means a function. Function means method. So that means procedural programming is about a program is set of functions. Start from the beginning till the end. So Charles, go ahead.
You were expecting a question, an answer?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's just object oriented is when you could make objects. If it's not object oriented, you have to only make variables and stuff. You cannot make instances.
Yeah, basically, okay. So let me correct me the way in which I'm going to explain you. If you understand, you don't understand very well. When you want to tell a story, for example, right? You start from the beginning till the end, a story inside a story inside a story, you can until you finish it. You start from the beginning. That's when you execute, a program, your main method get executed, and then main method calls other methods. So, and main method doesn't need to be inside a class. So that's what the procedural programming is. Procedural program, all previous programming languages were procedural programming. So what does that mean? You don't really create objects of anything. But again, we are saying we don't create objects, but even in C language, so you create, structures. Structures are nothing but objects. So you put values into the structure. So, and again, as many structures as you create. Okay. Procedural programming is about, okay, functional programming, which is a program is set of functions. In object-oriented programming, okay, it's about a program is interaction of objects. A program is what? Interaction of objects. So in real world scenarios, like objects interact. Me, I'm an object. You people are objects. I'm asking a question. I'm interacting with you. So this is a real world scenario. Object-oriented programming is a real world scenario. It's object-oriented paradigm. So you can solve any problems using object-oriented paradigm. Is it clearly understood or not yet? A program is set of objects. Instead of saying set of objects in a static way, I will say in a dynamic way. A program is interacting objects. A program is what?
Interacting objects.
Excellent. Program is interacting objects. So that means one object is talking to other objects. What does that mean, sir? I still don't understand. Okay. All right. So you have a class. You have a class. Okay. A class, using a class, you can create objects. And using this is also objects, right? This is a class. You can create objects. So all objects have references. Do you agree with me? All objects have references. Using the reference, you can call functions. So that's nothing but interacting each other. For example, you have the main here in this class. Okay. You have a main in this class. You can also create an object of that. What do you mean? Object of a main, sir? No. Object of this class. You can still create an object of this class. Even though you have a main, doesn't mean that, you cannot create an object. You can still create an object. Okay. So we did demonstrate that also already. A program is interaction of objects. Okay. So you know what? Java people wanted to remove the primitive types. Some of the concepts I already covered, so it should make it easy for you. I see, for example, we have primitive types. Okay. And for all primitive types, there are equivalent class type. Those are called wrapper classes. Wrapper classes are classes to replace the primitives. So byte, there was a byte, right? Primitive. That's primitive. The byte, capital B, is a class type. Short is basically SHORT, short. That's what it is. Okay. So, but you have a short class. Integer, you should have read in the integer, right? In a primitive int, you can have integer is a long. Again, primitive is long. So capital L is a class type. All these classes, right, are called wrapper classes. Wrapper classes can replace the primitives. In Java, you really don't need to use the primitives at all. So, but old habits don't go away easily. So all of us we people, not you people, are used to this old ones. So we started teaching these ones still. And all the programs which are written down, we don't want to replace them. So we still use them as they are. Most of the C code can be used directly, right? Into the classes, you can put them. So we continue to using it. But technically, you people can actually use all wrapper classes. Okay. So makes it more easier for, someone to follow through. So it makes simplify the programming, automatic conversion between primitives and wrapper. So they created a jargon of automatic conversion of the primitive type to the wrapper class and wrapper class to primitive types, which means that you can define integer x equal to 5. You can write like that, but not for any other classes. So this one is equivalent to what? Integer x equal to new integer 5. That's what it is. Whether you write like this or like that, both mean the same, but both is done the same way. So the automatic conversion for you. And the Java class has a big integer and big decimal. So there's new classes. So what is an integer? Can anyone tell me what is an integer? How many bytes is an integer? Integer is 4 bytes. 4 bytes. What if the size of an integer is bigger than this? You cannot really put the value because it becomes negative value, right? Is it not? Not even negative value, sir. So the last bit is set, it becomes a negative value, right? Is it not? So actually 4 bits means 4 bytes means what? How many bits is it? 32 bits. So actually your value is only 31 bits. The value is how many bits?
31 bits.
31 bits. What is the 1 bit for? Sign bit. Yeah, in your math, probably you studied that, no?
Yes.
Because number can be plus or minus. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So if you want to put an unsigned integer, it's 32 bits. If it is a signed integer, it is only 31 bits because 1 bit is actually defining your signed bit. So what is actually the negative value? 2's complement, right? Yeah, what is it? 2's complement. Okay. For example, let me write it for you. If you want to store as an integer, right? An integer. If you want to store an integer, I need to admit Adrian. So if you want to store -5, 5 for example. 5 is what? 101, right? Is it not? So if you put all 4 bytes here, 1 byte of all zeros, another byte of all zeros, another byte of all zeros, another byte of, so this value here, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. So 101 is 5. That's what is 5, right? So that's what you store in 4 bytes. If you put -5, for example, what do? Take 1's complement. So all ones, also 1, 0, 1, 0. So all ones here and 0, 1, 0. That's what the 1's complement is. 1's complement means if you find a 0 there, you make it 1, and if you find a 1 there, you make it a 0. So that is complement. Complement of 5 here is 1's complement is this one. So add 1 to it, it becomes 2's complement. You understand me? So all ones up to here ones and 0, 1, 1. You just added 1. So this is 2's complement. Understand me? That is -5. And you in such a -5, you always have this bit here will be set. Always. You'll have the last bit will be set. You can say that, the last bit is set. Okay, it is negative number. So which means that, so your positive number is only 31 bits. Okay. So big integer, string builder, string buffer, so many classes you have. A class is encapsulation, encapsulating. Okay, hiding all the data variables and the classes, methods. How, sir? You can put private. Private means no one will be able to see it. So that's what encapsulation is. Encapsulation is hiding, okay, the variables as well as methods, unless you define them as public. Okay, encapsulating, putting it together, like, a set of variables put together in a class, set of methods put together in a class, encapsulating all of them. Okay, encapsulating, like a wrapping it up, like a shrink wrap. Oh, shrink wrap. So class abstraction. So what is the meaning of abstraction? You define, but you don't assign any, allocate any memory. At the time of defining, you don't allocate any memory. So that's what abstraction is. Okay. So that means, you will be able to allocate memory only at the time of implementation. So that means when you are writing code, at that point of time, you are using classes and creating objects. Objects are not created automatically, like other data structures. Okay, C language, for example, you create a structure there, then you create memory for that structure, right? Over there also, you can allocate memory dynamically but that's malloc and other things. So if you look at here, defining a loan class here, a class and implementing the class and testing the class. A class here, look at that, a loan. The name of the class is loan, and the variables we have here is this set of variables, this set of methods. Plus means public, minus means what?
Private?
Private, yeah. Public. So usually all methods are public, all variables are private. That's what the recommendation is. And a set of, if you take this section here, some methods have the same name, which are constructors. Whenever you have a specific constructor, you must create a default constructor yourself. If you want to use it. You don't want to use it, is okay. Even if you don't write, it's fine. But it's not automatically given to you. The minute you write down specific constructor, the default constructor is not automatically given to you. But if you don't write any constructor, the default constructor is already available. It's always available. If you don't write down any constructor, the minute you write a constructor, the default constructor is not given to you automatically. Okay. So now what you want to do is, okay, so you have get and set methods. So set is the 4 variables. You want to get those variables for get classes, get methods. Okay. And set methods. And you must have something more than that. Okay. So get payment, get monthly payment. So that means you want to compute some monthly payment and give you the value or something like that. You understand me?
Yes.
So if you really click on this one, you get code. See here, this is a code with it. So the loan here. If you don't write down any of the values, okay, the values will be like 2.5 with the annual interest rate, and the number of years equal to 1, and the loan amount is going to be $1,000. You see here? Can anyone tell me what is this statement do? What this statement is doing? This
Referring to the class.
This is a reference normally, right? This is a reference. But if you use that reference, okay, like a method, you see, that becomes a method, which is a constructor method. This is a constructor method, right? This is a constructor method. So how many parameters you have here? 3. So is there a constructor that has 3 parameters? Yeah, down below here, look at it. I was looking at here only to tell you the 2.5 annual rate. 1 is the number of years, and the 1,000 is loan amount. So I looked at it. I don't know myself. Looking at it, I can't tell you what the values are. But there is a constructor which is matching here, just in front of us. So by looking at it, I'm telling you. I was not telling you just I know it or not. No, I don't know. 2.5, the first value which is double. The second value is integer. The third value is supposed to be double, but he wrote down integer, but it can be implicitly converted. An integer can be assigned to a double, but not the other way around, right? So 2.5 is the annual interest rate. The number of years equal to 1. So, and the loan amount is $1,000. So that means this constructor, the default constructor, no arc constructor, is calling the specific constructor with 3 values. So that means creating an object and initializing those values. And you can change the values later on. So that means whoever is writing did not write a dumb constructor here. He wrote down an intelligent constructor. Even a default constructor, no arc constructor, is going to create values. You are not obliged to write this. Okay, you may just leave it without this, and you may ask the user to set functions to set the values. So get annual rate, set annual rate. You see, when you have exactly the same name as the instance variable, then you must qualify using what? This reference, right? This is a reference. Okay. In C language also, if you know the address of any particular instruction, you can call that like a method. I did it during my programming. Okay, two programs have to communicate each other. It will tell you execute my code using this line from this line onwards. So it will tell you the address, and he calls that method of this program. Okay. So there is one program and another program. Both of them are talking to each other. I'm a telecom programmer, by the way. You know it, right? So communication is the key. So two programs are communicating each other. Oh, you execute my function from this line. It tells him, and he gives the address of it. And then he calls that method and executes it. I did it. So that means, you know what? It's just like this. This one is calling by address, actually, by reference here. Calling by reference. Self-reference here. So which means that it is a constructor method. It's calling the constructor method. Super also is a constructor, you know, parent class constructor. Super is parent class constructor. You're calling parent class constructor. This is current constructor. The current class constructor. Get annual rate, set annual rate, get number of years, set number of years. Okay. Get loan amount, set loan amount. These are just, it looks like a useless code to you, right? Because, oh sir, why did you put, you know, variables private and then making them public anyway? Why are you doing that, sir? But you have control yourself. Your program is doing what is supposed to be done. So that means you can do validation if you want to. I have a set loan amount, right? I just directly putting in here, right? But I can as well validate, you know, this is more than $1 million. Oh, I am not giving more than $1 million. So you can do validation if you wish to. Okay, but you know, if you don't have that control yourself, you're losing your control, which is not good. Find monthly payment. This is what you're writing a code for it right now, right? Isn't it? Monthly payment. This is a formula here. What is it? It's a formula. Loan amount multiplied by monthly interest rate divided by 1 minus 1 by, so 1 plus monthly interest rate to the power of number of years multiplied by 12. Because you know what? Number of months is number of years multiplied by 12 is number of months. So using this formula, you are actually finding out the monthly payment and returning that. So it's a formula. Don't worry about it. You don't understand how he computed it. I think he gave you monthly loan in one of those, you know, chapters in the very first lecture class. He gave you the formula. I think chapter 2 or 3 of this textbook, he gave a formula. Okay. In Excel also, you can compute monthly, right? Isn't it? Do you know it or no? No?
No.
Excel, you know, it's very useful to you because you are buying a home tomorrow, right? Not tomorrow, sir, one day. You're going to buy a home and you want to know how much monthly money are you going to pay. You can compute it. There is a function, payment function. All right, I'm going to show you. Your principal amount is P. Is it visible or you want to make it bigger font?
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, P equals to, for example, you want to buy these days, you know, harder days, you know, you are not getting anything more for less than $500,000, right? in the past, $100,000 you buy a very good home. So, but what you can buy for 100,000 in 20 years, 30 years ago, is $1 million now. So $500,000. Fees $500,000. Interest, right? The annual interest is like 5%. Okay, 5% is 0.05. 5%. Okay, or you write down 5%. Anything is fine. Okay, and the number of years, right? I think people used to say, I don't say interest rate. Control X, Control Y, Control V. So normally people write R equals to rate equals, right? Interest rate equals. So N equals to number of years. Number of years is like 25 years or something. Okay, you can get a loan for 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. I don't think it will give you more than 30 years. Okay, so most people take up to 30 years. You can always pay it back early, not the other way around. What do you mean, sir? When you're taking the loan, if you don't take it for 30 years, so once you take it for 20 years, you cannot change it to the 25. You can change, you take it to 30 years, you can change it to 25. I don't know the rules now, but that's what the rule I know. So if you take it for 30 years, you can later on come back and change it, and you can pay it in 4 years, 5 years if you wish to. You can always pay it early, but you cannot really pay, you can delay it. So again, every time you want to, again, even if you write the 25 years there or 30 years there, right? This interest rate is only guaranteed for 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. So that means you need to renegotiate this interest rate. You need to renegotiate the interest rate all the time. So, for example, the interest rate is locked for 2 years. So after 2 years, you need to renegotiate. Okay. So how much monthly payment are you going to pay? So there is a method called PMT. It's not part of this course, by the way. I'm just giving you some heads up. So the rate is a monthly interest rate you need to get. This is the yearly interest rate. So divide by 12. The interest rate divided by 12 is a monthly interest rate. And the number of months. So this one multiplied by 12 is the number of months. So now you have a principal value here, right? Which is 500,000. And there is another option if you wish to. So if you don't, just put it, just leave it like that. Okay. So you can put another option here. What is the last one is type is saying. What does that mean? At the beginning of the month you are paying, or at the end of the month you're paying? Normally you pay the end of the month. So the default is the end of the month. So that means you take the loan, don't need to pay today. You took the loan, and some people give you loan and take away the interest right away on the first day, right? So usually you pay less. See, this is it, 2,922.95. That's what you need to pay for 500,000 loan, 5% interest rate, 25 years. So you change it to 30 years, for example. So it's 2,684. So the interest rate is only 4%. So it used to be 2%, right? Up to last, so 1,800. So it's a significant increase for someone who is just paying $1,800. So because the interest rate changed it to 5%, so it's a heavy burden to somebody. You understand now how to compute it?
Yes.
Basically, payment function you can use. Okay. Suppose you want to pay $3,000 a payment. By increasing, if you pay more, you can get more money. You agree with me? 2%, for example, is this one. So I would like to borrow more money, so I can pay from my pocket 2,500, for example. So by increasing the value here. So I would like to find out exactly how much money can I borrow, okay, if I'm willing to pay 2,500. There is a method called goal seek. So you keep your cursor where you want to really put, and then click on the data, click on what if analysis. There is a goal seek. Data table is for simulation. Goal seek is a scenario manager, different scenarios of the simulation. Goal seek. So this value, so negative means what? You're paying. Okay. So minus 2,500 I want to pay. 2,500 I want to pay by changing the cell here. This one. By changing this, I want to pay up to, I want to change this value to 2,500. How much money can I take? You can take $676,371. You understand me now? If you're willing to pay $2,500, so at this interest rate, at this number of years, okay? So you can borrow up to $676,371. It'll be very useful. All right, taking it off. That's a side track. Okay, so this is a loan. This is one of those PowerPoint slides of this same textbook has this formula. Okay, so in the util you have a date. Okay, so you are returning the date, the loan date. The type is date. So in the variables, you have a date. Instead of writing down DD, YY, so you are organizing like a date, loan date. You can print the loan date. When did you take the loan? You understand me? Is it clear? So now this loan class, so it can be used in anywhere. Anywhere. You can use this class anywhere. You and me are objects of class. Okay, we can work anything. It's not like I have to do only one thing. I can do several things. Do you agree with me? I'm teaching now. I'm going to go shopping later on. So Justin is here. So like that. So this loan class can be used by any other classes. One of the classes here is testing the loan class. My job is to make sure that the loan class is working perfectly fine. And then later on, you can use this loan class anywhere. The testing is not really like, testing is to make sure that the loan class is written properly. And later on, anybody can use this loan class. Testing, I'm testing it. So what is actually published in the library is a loan, not the test loan class. So it's one way of testing it. There are so many ways you can test it. Okay, so this is a driver. All the tester, the driver, the client, whatever people have different names to it. So is testing. This testing class doesn't have any variables. And this is the method called main, right? And I'm creating a scanner reference. I'm receiving values from the user, interest rate, number of years, and the loan amount. I'm receiving everything from the user. Okay. And maybe, I'll put the date is today's date, right? You can put the today's date. Did he take the date also? No. Okay. And get loan amount, right? Get loan date. So he's printing all of it, right? String. Okay. 2 decimal values you are putting in. And all the values there. Okay. So the date he's putting in here, let me check it. loan date. When did you put the loan date? The constructor? Yeah. So Java, it creates the date here. Okay, when he create the date, he creates the today's date, unless you give the date, right? Okay, so if you want to test this class, you just go here and the tester. You should execute these. A lot of programs are given to you, you know. Some of you are asking me, can you give me more example, more example? You don't do the existing examples and you want new examples. If you do this, all of this, it will keep you very busy. See here. Eastern Standard Time, right? Created Sunday, May 17. Yeah, you know, that guy created this program, right? Somewhere. That system, not my computer. This is computer. May 17. The wrong date. But anyway, his server may be, right? Eastern Daytime. Okay, all right. So, object-oriented thinking. You know, you still have all the procedural paradigm, you know, things because you are using methods. So everything that you did in the past, like, procedural programming is still existing, it's not gone. So you still have loops, methods, arrays, everything that you actually fundamental programming techniques are still there. Okay, they're still foundation of object-oriented programming. Okay, the fundamental programming techniques are still always used. You don't go away from them because the methods are nothing but functions. So gives modularity. Classes are providing modularity. Okay, a program is set of classes. A system is set of classes. Reusable software components. Classes are reusable. So that means the code reuse. Classes are code reuse. Once you write a code, right, for a class, anybody can use that code, which means that I can use your classes. And you put them in a file and then include that. So you include. Okay, or import, right? We do import. In C language or something, you say include. Okay. All right, sir. So the difference between you will gain insight into different procedural programming and object-oriented programming. Okay. So that means reusable components. In object-oriented programming, this classes and objects are reusable components. So BMI class here. What is BMI? Body mass index, right? BMI class. So what is it doing actually? It must be taking the ratio of the, height versus weight or something, right? Isn't it? Height versus the weight or something. I think 25 is obese, like defining here what is obese, what is normal, what is abnormal or something, right? Let us see here what he wrote down for a BMI class. BMI, body mass index, right? I'm not teaching all of it. So there's a lot of scope for you to study. You can take this and run it, right? You want me to show you how to run it? Did I show it already or no? I think I did. You can cut and paste. All this code you can cut and paste. This one you can cut and paste it into a text file and then name that as a Java extension, right? No? Hello? You can do that. You want me to show one of it or you just okay? Kilogram to pound. If you enter the things in pound, okay? No, you want to convert to pounds. I think kilograms, so many kilograms per pound. Yeah, you take the pounds and you multiply with, not multiply, so divide. See what I mean? Yeah, multiply by. So you want to convert to kilogram. You want to convert to kilogram, what will you do? Just multiply with this number. So you'll have less number of kilograms rather than pounds, right? So you want to, if you give pounds, for example, you want to convert to kilograms, you divide. Okay, meters per inch. So somebody says meters, right? You want to convert to same kind of, okay, all right, whatever it is. So, these are constants, right? Because that's final. Look at the static. Why did you put static? Can you tell me why you put static? Because it's only one value. You don't want to have so many values. Each time you create an object, an instance of all the variables are created if you don't put static. And you don't want to really keep this conversion variable in every object. Because it's the same value all the time anyway. So you understand me? By putting final doesn't mean it's not preventing you from creating. You see different values, different variables. So what prevents from keep creating multiple variables is static. Is it clearly understood? Static means?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Okay, this kilograms per pound, right? This conversion rate, does it change from one person to another person?
No.
No. And BMI, does it change from one person to another person?
Yes.
Yeah. So that means you want to create BMI for multiple people, right? Is it not? So what
Yes.
is the name of the person? You put the string name here. The name of the person for whom you are actually making the body mass index. He has a age, he has a height. The height and the age will change from one person to another person, right? The
Yes.
age, height, weight, they change from person to person. But the conversion rate doesn't change. It's the same conversion, kilograms to per pound. You understand me?
Mm.
And once this variable is created, you cannot change it. So which attribute, not attribute, sir, which qualifier is actually making that happen? Not able to change. What is the qualifier that I are actually making writing here in this statement? This is a statement.
Final.
Final. Yeah. Final. The
Oh, sorry. I
final.
thought you were talking about static. That's why.
No, not static. The final. The final, you said it right. The final doesn't let this value to be changed, right? You understand me? Okay. The static creates only one element of that and never again. And this kilogram to per pound, okay, this variable is created at compile time because it's written down static. Even you don't create an object of this BMI, the kilogram per pound is created and associated with the BMI class. No one else will be able to use this outside this method. Oh, you put it public here, so somebody can use it if he wants to, because it's public. You understand me? So that means if you have set of classes, so if you define the one time the kilogram per pound in one class, another class can use this with qualifier BMI dot kilogram per pound. Look at it because public, right? You understand me? Yes or no? It's very important you understand the difference between static, the final. If you don't put them, what happens? Okay, suppose you did not put it static. What happens? This is a non-static variable. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Which means that every time you create an object, the value, the variable is created. Suppose you don't put static here. So which means that every time BMI object is created, so these values are assigned, are created. The variables are created and the values are assigned. You won't be able to change them because the final But why do you need to create these variables for every person you're creating? No, you're wasting your energy, not energy, sir. Your, your memory. Okay. You will have the same values. You will not have any mistake in your program logic, but you are not certainly did not do the right thing. Okay. So that means don't put a static here. Is it clearly understood? Not understood very well? Just ask me. I'll try to explain you again and again until you understand.
It's
So
understood.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So BMI, like you want to create a constructor here, BMI 1, 2, 3, 4 values. And here the 1, 2, 3 values. What is defaulted here? The age. I don't know why you put age. So he's calling a constructor with 1, 2, 3, 4. So the age is defaulted. If you don't put, the age, he will put 20. I don't know why he put it that. Maybe he wrote in the problem statement. He understood it. You understood it. This constructor has only 3 variables here, right? Parameters, right? And this parameters, arguments. You understand, right? Isn't it?
Yes.
And these are also 4 arguments here and 3 arguments here. So if you don't put age, he's going to put 20. This one is calling the other constructor. Do you agree with me? This one is calling this constructor. So this is a constructor. If you put this parenthesis. If you don't put the parenthesis, you put a dot there. Instead of this here, you put a dot. This is a reference. Okay. This is a call by reference. You can call a method by reference too. So call by reference. Okay. So now BMI, this is another constructor. Oh no, sir, no, sorry. This is a method. Sorry. Get BMI, get BMI. So he's going to compute the BMI and give you. So you take the weight, which is given to you in pounds. Okay, he's multiplying. So he's going to make it to kilograms. And you take the height, which is inches, and you're multiplying with meters, converting to meters. Okay. And again, I think it's a square. Instead of writing square, he wrote down 2 times and multiplied them. Isn't it? You agree with me?
Yes.
This multiplied by that is like a square. You could use math power off, and then do it write 2, right? So, and a math round is actually using the BMI multiply by 100 divided by 1/3. So you actually multiplying, right? You're using math round also. Okay. Get status. If at any time you want to really find out the values of, oh, I see. Get status. If the BMI is less than 18.5, it's underweight. It is great, it is not like, so else, right? Else means what? It is greater than 18.5. So if the BMI is less than 25, what does that mean? It means it's greater than 18.5, but less than
25.
Yeah. So if it is exactly 18.5, is it underweight or normal?
Normal?
Normal. Isn't it? Because this is less than, not equal to. So if it is exactly equal to, so it will come here and it's less than 18.25 and it becomes normal. You understand me? Exactly like the way, if it is exactly 25, it is overweight. Do you want to do that? I don't know. 25 equal to 25. Is it normal? I think it is normal, no?
No,
I
it's
think-
over.
Is it? Is it not normal? 25, exactly 25. 18.5 to 25, not including 25, but including 18.5 is normal. That's what he showed down here. Okay, anyway, that's a precision for you and me. I don't know, maybe that's,
So 24.99 would be normal, no?
oh, I see. That's what it is according to this program. But in real scenario, is it 25 is normal? I don't know. Maybe 25 is not normal. Okay, so 25 to 30, not including 30, is overweight. So that means 30 or more is obese. Okay, so that's how it is. Okay, get BMI status is going to tell you what value it is. So get name, get age, set age. You know, don't want to set age. Sir, only one person has only one. No, age will keep on changing. Age will keep on changing. Height will keep on changing. Name doesn't change. Name can change, sir. Okay. All right, you understand, right? What I'm saying?
Yes.
So you can use BMI class. That use BMI class means testing the BMI class or driver class. So it's a one implementation of one usage of BMI class. So use BMI class means test BMI class, driver for the BMI class, or a client for the BMI class. So we created two people, okay, John Doe and Peter King. So he gave 3 values here and 4 values there. If you don't put 3 values, it will be 20 years, right? 20 years, then either he puts in. So BMI 1, BMI 2, you look at the BMI 1 is one reference here, and the BMI 2 is another reference here. So, and then, you know, you put the values there, compile it. So you get the results down below. So BMI. So John is normal and Peter, right? Person 1, person 2. Why didn't he put the names of the people, right? So person 2. So he put the Peter, no? I think he put the Peter. John Doe. John Doe. Okay, anyway. He didn't put the names. So person 2 and person 1. So one is normal, another is obese. All right. Good. Okay, all right. So association, aggregation, composition. Okay. Association means what? Related to each other, right? Association means relationship. Is associated. You can define association, what type of association it is. Okay. So association is general binary relationship that relates to classes. Okay. One to many, one to one, one to, you know, like that. You see here, when somebody, can you tell me what is this type of figure? What is it? We call that as UML diagram, right? Yeah. Any diagrams which are given to you, like, you know, unified modeling language. But you must have studied this in the database course. Did you study the database course ERD? Entity relationship diagram? Didn't you study that?
Not yet.
Yeah,
Not yet. ERD.
You mean how the tables are connected?
Yeah, how the entities are related to each other. That's a diagram.
Like the primary keys and stuff?
Yeah, entity relationship diagram, ERD. So that means let's look at here. One course, okay, includes 5 to 60 students. What does that mean? You cannot have a course with less than 5. The minimum number of enrollment you require in a class is 5. Okay, and your capacity of the class is 60. You can't have more than that. That's what it is. 5 to 60 students. Okay, one student can take multiple classes, multiple courses. One student can take multiple courses. Use the relationship between two things. See the student and course. Okay, you put the values there in the corner. You look at that. This is the we put a star there. Star means any number. It's like n. People write n. Okay, you put a number here. You can also put n to n, but n to n you never put. Why, sir? Because many to many. N means many. Star means many. What is it called? Many. Many means multiple, right? Is it not?
Yeah.
It's useful for your database course also. So star means many. N means many. Okay. Infinity. Some people put infinity in your access database or something. You'll put infinity. Infinity means many. Okay. You can have one-to-one relationship. One student has one social insurance number. Do you agree with me? It's only one. You can't have multiple social insurance number, right? How many social insurance number do you have?
1.
Only one. So one-to-one relationship. One student has multiple friends. Or, one student has can take one or many. You understand me? One or many. You can even write down one or many. People write down one and dot, 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 and many. Okay. Many can be one also. But many to many relationship, right? You have to resolve that into many to one and one to many using a composite key, which is both keys put together in that, you have to create another entity in between that resolves which one belongs to which. Otherwise, you will not be able to, database teacher will teach you. Okay. So here, a faculty member can teach 0 or 3 courses. A faculty member doesn't need to teach. That's what 0 means. You understand me? A teacher can teach 0 or 3. So that means he's teaching 0 means what? He's taking the semester off. A course must be taught by only one teacher. See that here? A course must be taught by only one teacher. So that's means one to one, one to many, many to many. These are relationships. Okay. It's a kind of association too. All right. Association too. And you can even say that the aggregation. That means multiple students are aggregated to define a class. Okay, composition. A student is part of a class. Okay, it composed of inheritance. You see what I mean? Relationship, like a student is a person. So inheritance. A person is a class, student is a class. You can also create inheritance. So you can create relationships among association, relationships, and composition. These are the 4 different types of, in the UML notation, you can actually define it very clearly with a diamond, with a hollow triangle. Inheritance is a hollow triangle, right? Okay. And a solid, diamond and a hollow diamond to define. Look at the diamond there, composition. Okay. So if you're defining a class called student, right? If you're defining a class called student, inside the student, you have a name. Name is what? String name, right? You agree with me? Hello? What is name? This one here. When I write down here, what is it?
String.
Yeah, it's a reference, right? A reference to what? String. String is what? A class. String is what?
A
A class. A class. So that means when you're defining student, so you write down student, class, student, curly brace, and you're writing down string name. So this variable is part of the student class. Do you agree with me? Is part of, composed of. So student composed of, okay, a name. It's an object reference, but actually you can say that's an object. An object reference always points to an object. Do you agree with me? So that means a student is composed an object of string class. You understand me? And probably it's not very convincing to you. I'll tell you, this student has a cat with him. You understand me? So you can write down cat here. His cat. See, in the student, because he loves the cat. All students love the cat, for example. And you say cat belongs to student. So that means this is what? Composition. Okay, composition. Okay, all right. So that means student is composed of, okay, at least one you should have, right? Isn't it? No, you put in one there, but so it's composed, composition. Hollow triangle is aggregation. See that a student can have multiple addresses, like 1 to 3 addresses. Okay, 1 to 3 addresses. So aggregation. Student, you'll have 3 addresses you write down in the student class. You understand me? So look at that. So name, okay, you created a name class. Here, I assume that name is a string. No, he created a name class. A class called name. And he put that name inside the student. So that's what really, so name here is a class. Do you agree with me? All right. Name is a class. I recognized it earlier because he put name the capital letter. So it must be in the whenever you put a rectangle like that, so it is a class, right? Basically in a UML diagram is a class. So name is a class. So what I wrote down earlier was string name, that was a variable reference, object reference, but string is a class. So you can actually write down, instead of name, you can write down string if you want to. So name is a class here. So that name is used here inside the student. Okay. It's a composition, composed of. You can also this one as composition, because if you have multiple addresses here, so you can have aggregation. Okay. So the class which is putting them together is the aggregating class. The class which is being included is called aggregated class. Someone who is doing something being done. Since aggregation and composition are relationships, right? Basically relationships. Okay. So you can call most of the people say as composition. Don't differentiate like, so composition from aggregation. People say composition, both are like composition. A person is supervising a person. So that means you can have a person as part of person. So it's returning a person, but the name of it is So which means that this is a reference to a person. Reference to a person. And this person is a supervisor of this person. Okay. So this is also very common. So a person is supervising multiple. Okay, a person has multiple supervisors. So one supervisor, another supervisor, so an array of persons. Okay. All right, no problem. So you can even see when you're reading a UML diagram or in your database, ERD. Okay. We have in our class course UML. In your database course, what do you have? ERD. This is diagram, that is also a diagram, right? Isn't it? Hello.
Yes.
So did he teach you about the getting the diagrams done? Which tool are you using to make the diagrams? ERD.
We're not making diagrams yet, I think.
Not
We're
yet?
we're
Okay.
just doing queries.
Yeah, but-
The diagram is talking about is the data grid.
So you're using data grip, another tool called data grip, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, data grip is for us for our database.
Data grip
And-
like that?
Yeah,
Yeah, the
we're
same
using
guys who made the
SQL.
Eclipse.
The SQL, but Lucid chart is one of the things which you use. Lucid chart, visual paradigm. There are a lot of tools that you have for creating diagramming. Intelligent diagramming. It's really to create diagrams. So that
But
UML
I think he said he
create
wanted us
flowchart.
to create the
But-
diagrams after. He wanted us to first get used to looking at them and querying them, and then afterwards he's gonna show us how to create our
Excellent.
diagram.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So this is a diagramming tool, right? Now, you can create UML diagrams, ERD, flowcharts, swim lane diagrams, business process modeling, all kind of diagrams. You can make it with a Lucid chart, visual paradigm, and other things. Learning one of the tools is useful. Okay, very good. So now you divided a class into 3 parts here, right? Look at them. So this is a UML diagram for a class. So course here. So you have students. See that? So course have students, right? So they have names, an array of students. So now you have a course as a name, which is a string. Number of students is an integer. You understand me? Hello? When a course is created, so an object of a course is created. So that means these 3 values are assigned, are created. So memory is allocated for them. Okay. So set of references, students means set of references. As many students you actually kept in while creating. So, obviously you need to give a constructor. Constructor must define how many students you are actually creating in the course. Okay. And a course as a course name. So you need to assign those many references when you're creating. Okay. And then course is a constructor. And get course name, it gives the course name back. Add student, that means you can add one student at a time, later on. Add student, drop student, you can remove the student. Okay. And get students, all of them you want to see, you'll give you. Okay. Get number of students. This is another variable. So that means when you want to create an object of the course here, right? Memory should be allocated for you. Okay. So this one is a course name. It's a reference to course name because it is a string. It's a reference. So memory is allocated like 8 bytes. Okay. And this one, we don't know how much memory should be allocated at this point of time, but at the time of creating a course, you must give that value. Okay. You understand me, right? You must give the values. If you don't give the value, okay. All right. So it's defaulted to 0. So that means it's null. If you don't give anything, it's going to be null. Course name, obviously, this is 8 bytes here, but again, you give a name at the time of constructor. So that means this is the name of the course, blah, 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 blah. Okay. What is programming course or something? But this is actually pointed by this reference here. And this is a null here. If you don't really give any student, you give a student, for example, then you have to create an array of references. Array of references. So one student, second student, third student, fourth student, student 0, student 1, student 2, all of them. So that means you will be pointing the references, set of references. And you need to create each reference is a student, another student, another student, another student. So the number of students, if you don't put any value, there 0. So that means three things are defined here. You understand me? How many things are defined here? How many variables are defined there? 3. So first one is what? Reference to course name. Second one is what? Reference to array of references, which are type student, right? String, actually string, they are string. You put the string, array of strings. And each string is the name of the student or something. So you have to put that. And the number of students. So the 3 things in there. You clearly understood or no? You know, when you see a class, you should be able to understand the data structure. Okay?
Sorry, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's about this subject and the assignment.
Yeah.
You see, sir, here the name of the class is course.
Yeah.
And the constructor, the first constructor, is a course again.
Yeah.
And you ask us to create a file under name driver.
Yeah.
Okay. Then when I want to create one object with the main constructor, the default constructor. He told me that okay, there is no any constructor undernamed the driver. I don't know, the constructor is undernamed the class or undernamed the driver.
You know, every class has a driver. You understand me? Even the driver class that I gave you there, right? Okay. You have a constructor. If you don't write a constructor, there is always a constructor, which is a default constructor. You understand me? Yes or no? Okay.
Yes, I know.
The best is to explain you with an example. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
I did explain you in the beginning, but you probably forgot it or not associated with it. But I'll show you again. This is a programming language. So, you know, you have some gaps to be filled in time to time. And it's easy to forget. There's nothing wrong to forget. Even here, I can take this one and explain here. So this is the main here, right? You asked me to create a Honda, Canada, or something we create. In here, right? What is the name of the class? This class.
Main.
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 That's the name. That's the name of the class. Okay. So right now, do you have a constructor for this class? Yeah,
No.
it is. There is a constructor. Always you have a constructor. There is no class doesn't have a constructor. When nothing is written down here, there is a constructor called main.
Yes, default constructor.
Yeah, this is the default constructor, which has no argument constructor or a dump constructor. That's what it is. It is there. If you want to create an instance of it, oh yeah, you can create an instance of it. I don't know who that is. 1 second. Normally I shouldn't take.
You gone?
You don't hear him either? I thought it was just my computer.
Yeah, I
No, he
wanted to make sure that it
took a
wasn't
call.
just me.
No, he took a call and just muted or put himself on mute.
Okay.
Sorry
Good
for
call.
that. So I'm back again, right? Sorry for that, because I think it's just I would have missed an appointment. All right. So now look at here now, right? So the main, I want to create an object. Okay, new main. Yeah. Didn't I create an object now of my same class? When do you need to create it? When I need to create it is big. If I want to have any other methods you have here and I want to execute this method, or I have variables. If I want to reference those variables, I need an object. You understand me? But in my class here, my class, which could be a driver here, right? Because it has a main. You can say this Ali, this is like a driver here. Look at the driver. Why it is a driver? Because it has a main class, main method. Do you agree, Ali? Ali, you asked me a question, right?
Yes, yes, I'm listening, sir.
Yeah. So you know what? The driver, this is like a driver in your assignment because this is the main in there. And you want to create Honda Civic, right? And not just one Civic, you will make, multiple Honda Civics, right? Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Hello Canada. So this one is, it must be there. Hello Canada with there in the same package and the same folder, right? Is it not? You put it in the same folder. All classes are kept in same folder. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And-
Because you ask us to create the file under name driver, the system automatically create a class under name the package like the driver,
Yeah, driver.
yeah.
The driver
Yeah,
for you is the
yeah.
main method. It has main method. That's what I really want to tell you. So
Okay. No, we should create another class under name Honda Civic under the name of the driver class. I am right?
but you're creating a project called Honda Civic. Inside the project, you keep two files. So let me show you here. So for example, so take any class here, right? So let's take here. The name of the project is inheritance, right? Here, look at that. Yeah. The name of the
Yes.
project here is inheritance. I wrote down inheritance. When you expanded this here, right? Look at that. So all of them are kept in the same folder, same package. You agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So, all of them kept in the same folder. So now one of them has main. Which one has main? By looking at it, can you recognize which one could have been, could have main?
Test. Test.
No,
Test.
the last
Or-
one, the test. Here, look
Yes.
at the test. If I write down driver, the test, or, the client, something which is not really the same like other class. See, like animal, cat, cobra, snake. Okay. Cobra is a snake, is an animal. Cat is an animal. Snake is an animal. You understand me? And now the test here, look at the test thing. It has main in there. See that? Yeah. And no other classes will have main. Animal doesn't have any main. So usually the classes don't have main. Usually classes don't have main. All classes don't have main. Only the class which is going to make the drama happen. Drama. Okay. I'm an actor. If I don't go onto the stage, I'm not acting. Do you agree with me? Do you agree, Ali?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
You have an apple. You don't eat it. Apple is apple. Apple is for eating. Do you agree with me? Orange is for eating. It's a fruit. You can eat. So the interaction of what is the program? Interaction of objects. The eating an object, eating, not object, sir, eating an orange is the action taking place. So if you're not eating, orange is an object, myself is an object, there is no interaction between them. Orange is living its own, and so there is no testing or driver or something. The main is set of instructions which are being executed. And a main is completed, program is completed. So main is a real program, but program is using classes. But here, I wrote down the test class here is only to test these objects here, these classes. In real world scenario, there are not just so many classes you have. I'm not using all of them. I'm only using some of them. You understand me?
Yes,
In
sir.
real life scenario, I will be doing a lot more things, not just one thing. So that means all classes are independently existing in their own library. But whoever wants, whatever they want to keep using them in real life scenario. So in real life scenario, so interaction of objects are not just limited to only few classes, but in any class. Whenever you require a class, that's what you do. When I want to eat an apple, I eat an apple. I want to drink a coffee, I'll drink a coffee. I have to make a coffee and drink coffee. I want to go to school, I need to walk on the road. I may take a bus, I may take a metro, I may take an aeroplane to go. There are things that are happening in real life. So that means I'm using so many classes every day. So, but those classes are working properly or not, you're testing them. So that's what we're doing here. Okay, coming back to your original question. So what is the original question asking? So what you really wanted to do in the Honda Civic thing, right? So there is a driver
Yeah.
class where you need to create a set of, in the driver class, what you need to do is you want to create a set of Honda Civic, right? Is it not? So you need to create, I think I said 5, right? Is it not?
Sir, you ask us to submit the only one Java file named driver.java with classes Honda
Oh,
Civic and driver.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Let
this
me
is
tell
the
you.
problem.
No.
This is
Let
my
me tell you.
no. This is my problem.
No,
I
don't worry.
can't
Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you. I agree with you. Now I understand your question properly. Because earlier I was not understanding what you're asking me. You were asking me about, okay, I'll keep this. I'll explain this also. And then give a break after that, right? So demo, I'm not sure the demo has 2 files or not. Yeah, I have Apple and a driver here. Look at that. 2 files I have. You do you agree with me? The driver is here. Okay, let me delete everything. Right click here and delete all or close all. Close everything. Okay, close all. You want to save any main? I don't want to save it. So just leave everything, close everything at once. Now opening the driver here. Driver is an independent file. Do you agree with me? So what is the name of the file? Driver.java.
Driver, yes.
Look at it, it's written down here. So apple.java. Do you agree with me? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And this is a apple.java that has a public qualifier here. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
So now you know what? Each time you create I'm creating an apple here. Right? Am I creating an apple here? Yeah, I'm creating an apple A, apple B. 2 apples are created here. Okay. I think I was, I was explaining you earlier using the same thing, whatever it is. Okay, all right, sir. So 2 apples are created. So whatever is done. So let me just run it, for example. Okay, 177, I don't know. So the get ID, set ID, I change the ID and again, whatever is I'm doing this here. There is one class, one file here, another file, 2 files. So if I don't put public, still public. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And you get the same results. Yeah, you get the same results. Now, if I take the apple and put this same thing here, for example, it won't let me compile it. Control C, Control C. This is the end of the class. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
I created a new class, same class here. I put this here. Another class I put in here. Do you agree with me? Hello?
Yes.
So, but it's telling me a compilation error. Do you agree? There are 2 reasons for that. So let me delete this. Let me delete this. I'm deleting it, right? I'm creating only one file in the entire program. The project is only one file I created. You see what I mean? Only one file I
Yes.
created. What is the name of the file?
Driver.
Driver.java. So, but the problem here is doesn't allow me to create a public inside the same class. Take out the public.
Ah.
Everything should be fine.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Everything should be fine. So let me take the import. That's the import there, right? Import util. You put in there import. Where is my import? Where is my class? Apple here, right? So I think you have an import what util, I think, right? Okay, it will tell me anyway. So it's supposed to take off all of these, I'm going to run it. Proceed. It tells me some import is curly brace is missing. I didn't properly copy it. What?
No, Professor, I delete the public for civic class, but
It should be fine.
yeah, but there is a problem. He can't recognize the constructor of Honda Civic inside the driver. I don't know why.
It will. 1 second. Let me see it.
Yeah.
So control that. I deleted also, right? I delete that doesn't really control Y, control Y, control Y. Apple here, right? Apple. Number of apples. Public static get number of apples. Get number of apples. Do I have get number of apples? Yeah. No problem. This should be the class. Yeah, that is the class, no problem. Oh, that previous one was missing a curly brace. It's my mistake. Open curly brace, open curly. I don't know what I think when I did. Okay, now it should be fine because I actually did not really. I didn't put the. You understand me now? I missed this curly braces. You know, when I copied, I should copy after the curly braces. So this one should be one class. That curly brace belongs to this driver curly brace. Do you agree with me? And
Yes.
I have this curly brace is Apple, so it will run perfectly fine now. Yeah, you understand me now? What did I
Right.
do? If you put public, it will say no. When you write public, right, it must have its own file. You see, public type must be defined with its own file. Is it written down clearly? Is it? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So, but you
I'll look.
take out the public, no problem. You take out the public here, no problem. The reason I am asking you, technically speaking, you should keep its own file. Okay, you understand me? So to make my life easy when you're evaluating that, I have to copy this file to this and again copy this file to here, and I have to do multiple times when I'm grading your assignment. So, but if you put all classes into one file, it'll be easy for me actually. So you can put the public, no problem for this one. Because the name of the file here is driver, and that driver can be public, no problem. But other classes you put inside the same file should not be public. You understand me? If you put the same file public, so you will have a compilation error.
Okay.
So that's why I asked you to do that way. You understand the reason why I asked you to do that way and what is allowed, what is not allowed?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
No problem. So now you take this right here, Apple class, right? Isn't it? Can I create multiple apples? Yeah. Why not? I can create multiple apples. How do I create multiple apples? Apple X equal to new apple 10. I created 10 apples. You understand me? So like you can create 5 Honda Civic, right? You understand? When I write down this, what happens? What type of data structure is created? An array of what?
Apple.
Reference to apples. 10 references. How many bytes are allocated? So for X, let's see.
80.
Yeah, for the dynamic memory is 80 and then X is, So you have here. So 10 references are allocated. 10, 0 to 9, right? 0, 1, and 9. So those are apples. So but X itself is pointing to the first one. This is X. And these are all apples. Okay, initialize. What are the values in here? Can you tell me what are the values? This is dynamic memory, right? Heap. This one is stack. X is on the stack and the remaining all the 10 references are in the heap. Okay, so what are the values in this null, right? When you don't have, any value for the reference, the null is there. If it is allocated on the heap, it is an object. When you assign a new, when you're using a new, right? When you're using a new, the reference is equated to null and then number is equated to 0. You understand me, right? Number is 0, reference is all nulls are here. So now you want to create a apple. So we want to create what? An apple. Okay, apple. So x of 0 is an apple equal to new apple. I created an apple now. X of 0 is an apple. So what does it do now at this point of time? It creates an apple, which is the data structure, as many variables I have, and the reference is kept in here. That's what it done. Okay. And then you want to create another one, for example. I want to create another one. So x of 5, for example, or x of 8, for example, equals to new apple. So I created 8. Okay. The minute you put 10 or something, it will be a problem because you are not really don't have the. So you create a runtime error because it's array index out of bounds exception. At this point of time, the compiler is not able to look at your code and then catch this error. But so it's at the time of running, you'll get that exception. So 8. So that means when you go here, I'm creating another apple, which is 8. 8 is here. And it was null before. So now it's going to be allocating an apple here. And then you're creating a reference to that. So now somebody wants to see how many apples are there. So if you want to count, if you maintain number of apples in somewhere, so you will be able to know how many apples are there. Increment, decrement, each time you create. Okay. So, and when you are traversing through for loop or something, you have to make sure that it is not null. But before accessing it, the reference is not null. If it is a null, and try to access it, you get a null pointer exception. You understand me? So make sure that it is not null. Null means empty. The apple is not there. In this case, your Civic is not there. Each time you sell a Civic, we said that we put null in there, which means that the Civic is gone. Is it clear, Ali? Thanks for asking a question.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It helps everybody. I'm pretty sure people are shy. So I'm glad that you asked me a question. So now you understand this, right? Isn't it? So you understand this. It's important. It is important to understand the data structures behind it. You don't need to study a data structure code to, you study data structures and, programming. Programming data structures are ad hoc data structures that are created. So you can study data structure scores about managing the linked list or memory management, organizing the memory into structures. That is data structures. But data structures are created ad hoc when you're running program. So the data structure course is supposed to teach you designing a database, designing a set of data structures, and then how they are associated. That kind of course is a preliminary course, to databases. So data structures course is a preliminary course to databases. Database is set of files, right? A table is a file. A table. Table is a file and database is set of tables. And you have, SQL and, query language to be able to create queries, reports, and other things. Okay. Designing tables and entering data into the tables, creating a form to enter a table, data into the table. That is database concepts, right? Creating forms. Okay. Designing a form, right? Sorry, my pronunciation may not be very good. Form. Okay, query, report. These are the things you do. And you would have tables. Then database is nothing but set of tables. The forms are created to enter data into the tables. The query you create. So when you go to a buffet place, you pick and choose and you get the plate clearly created. So you have to design a query to be able to execute. So that means the results will come to you in a format that you require. And you actually can get a report also. It can be email your reports, email your queries to automatically at a particular time. Like you can also create alerts. If a database value is becoming an abnormal value, you can automatically create an alert to your email. And things like that. Okay, stack of integers. This is another class called stack of integers. So like a stack, you remember we said the stack earlier? No, always saying stack, stack, stack. So stack of integers, an integer, an integer, an integer, integer. That's what you want to create. So how many values did you create here? The size of the stack. Okay, you created a stack. This is the constructor. Okay, and you can create a capacity. If you don't give a capacity, maybe it gives you 10. So empty. So Boolean is true or false. Peak is going to get you the integer. I think which is on the top, right? Top or whichever is pointed. So you can you normally top one, right? Top. Pop means take out an integer. Peak, I don't think it takes out. Push, you push the value. So that means putting a value into the stack, getting the size. What is the size of the stack? See, look at that. Element 0, 1, 2, 3. So capacity is the number of values in the stack. This is the element capacity. Doesn't mean that values are there. As you keep the value, okay, the top is going to be incrementing. So a top is a pointer or an index. So that means these are the number of values filled in. Okay, that's what the size is. Size in this case is as many values as you kept in. The capacity is the total capacity of the integer. You understand me, right? Stack. So you put, so this is at the beginning, this is an empty stack. You kept one value, another value, another value. So the top is going to, increment. As you are taking values out, pop, right? When you execute pop, these are push. Each time you execute a push, I like that. Okay. So push, 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 pop, pop, pop. We already talked several times, so you must understand by now. So you can actually have wrapper classes. I think maybe you should get a break now, no? Don't you
Yes,
need a break? I think come back at 11, right? 11, half an hour break for you. You deserve it. It's okay. We'll
Okay.
finish at
Sounds good.
we finish at 12, right? We finish at 12. 12 or 12:15. So come back at 11 o'clock and we'll finish by 12:15. I want to finish this wrapper class integer. I hope you're understanding big integer. Tracing the code. Fortunately, we did a lot of concepts already, so should be fine. Okay. Rejects, right? Is a reject, regular expression. There is a class called rejects, right? So did you use it anywhere? No, I don't think you use it.
No.
Regex is very powerful. So I won't take any of your time now. So just go to the break time, drink some coffee or whatever you want and come back. All right. So I will stop recording and then come back. I'll continue recording. Hello, back again. I hope I just started recording again. So share my screen. We have one or two more people joined, I think, right? I think 2 more people joined. I think, I don't know whether I should give attendance to them or should just encourage people to come on time. I'll give attendance. Provided they are here, right? We said 11, so it's 11:02. So we are supposed to be here by now, all of us. So Kunyu is not here. Connor is not here. I didn't see him joining. Alexander, I see him joining. Alexander,
Yes, sir, I'm here.
yeah. So I see you join. And Justin also, I see him joining.
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you. So I gave attendance to both of you. Suraya did not join. Khaled did not join. I hope they are there in the program. Do you know they are coming, attending other classes or no? Suraya, Khaled. I won't surprise if they are not attending classes of others. I can understand why. Kunyu is supposed to be coming back. All right, I took the attendance thing is done again. So you already know the wrapper classes. We already introduced the wrapper classes. Wrapper classes are replacing the primitives in a way. So which means that you do not really require primitives. So the advantage of these wrapper classes is they have powerful functions. So like for example, integer. So the max value, min value, you can actually come, they have value, max value, min value. So you know what is the maximum value of an integer. Okay. Whereas you don't have such a feature, such a thing in case of, the primitive. So here also double max value, min value. So you can actually get them. So you have integer like constructor again here. Look at that. So you can create an integer like you are parsing. You can actually create an integer, a string, which can be automatically accepted like an integer. So you do parsing and so on, right? In the case of receiving it like a scanner or string and then converting it parsient. So integer has a parsient, right? See parsient. So parsient, you can use this class to be able to convert a string to an integer. Parsient. Okay. All right. So many things you could do. Value of a double, for example, which is a string, and then you can get the value of. Okay. All right. So constructor, max value, min value, so double. A underscore is not clearly visible, I think here, right? There is an underscore happen to be underlined, attached to the underline. So max value is with the underscore. Min value is with the underscore. So public integer. So these are constructor, right? Okay, these are constructors. And these are also constructors. So from a string, which is represented a numeric value like a 30335 or something, if somebody writes a 35, okay. So as a string, this is 3335 hexa decimal value, right? 2 bytes. If it is an ASCII, so you can convert this automatically to 35, right? So max value, min value, see biggest value. This is the biggest value, right? Maximum value of an integer is this one. Because 1 bit is out, right? Isn't it? That's why. Okay, 32 bit. The biggest value is 4 gigabyte, is it? 4 gigabyte. 4 multiplied by 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 9. So that means if you use the last bit, it's supposed to be 4, not 2. Because you take off 1 bit, so it's like divide by 2. So that's 2. In a floating point, you have the maximum value of the floating point is this one. Okay, all right, sir. So value of double value of a string. I take a string value of feature is going to convert to convert to a double, convert to an integer here, and you can equate them. Look at the equate them. So double D equals to, okay, integer I equals to parse int. No one is speaking. Are you here or no? Come on, guys. You are the only. Your batch is excellent batch, but you people are not
Mm.
speaking. I have, not as great batch, but they were extremely communicating and real. They made real fun also. I think I have two groups. They made really fun. Every class was real fun. Not two, I think three groups. And I didn't get as quiet group as yours. So parse int, parse double. Okay. You already know them, right? You already used them in the first course one. So PC1 course also. So you
Not
can
re-
act, yeah.
We didn't really use it, but I think we briefly talked about it, but yeah.
Oh, really? You didn't use it? Okay.
No,
So
no.
yeah, but, like here, look at them. I'm creating 3 integer array. You can create like this or directly write down. Both are same. So technically speaking, you should write like this. But you actually you can write like that too. Okay. So boxing, unboxing. Unboxing, unboxing. So that means, array 0, array 1, array 2. Putting this is, automatically converting this one to this is called boxing. Okay. So you take this one and equate to that, like, you want to print it like an integer. So unboxing. So boxing and unboxing is just a terminology. Boxing is like putting, regular integer to an object, or an object to a regular integer. Unboxing. Big integer, big decimal. These are classes in math library. So you can create a big integer bigger than, the 4-byte value. You can write as big as you want. It will dynamically create as big size as you want. So the thing is that you have to keep that in a string. Okay, string. So big integer A, big integer B, and you can multiply them. You see integer. So A multiplied by B. Multiply is a function, is a method. Inside the integer class, multiply is a method. It's not like A multiplied by B. Because this is a reference, that's a reference. So you have to call multiply method to be able to multiply and put that value into a new big integer. Because the result is going to be an integer. Big integer divided by multiplied by big integer is a big integer. So, and you can print the big integer by reference, and then it will print automatically for you. Large factorial. This is a method I used to run all the time. You want to run it or no? Large
Sure.
factorial. So large factorial. I think probably I have it here. Begin. This is the large factorial. Control A. So let's write down here. Is it factorial? Yeah, factorial. So this same class there, I think, from there. So I go here. So I create begin class, project. Maybe I already have it. I'm not sure. Okay, if it is not there, is no problem. So Java, new, create a Java project. Okay, I'll put the name as begin. Okay. And then I keep it in the same default location, no problem. You can create. The default location is here. If you want to find out where the file is, you can go there and look for a source in this folder. You will have it in the source. So now look at the source here. So that's where you do. So it's not a module. It's like I'm going to create begin here. Okay. So go here. I create a class. New. A class I'm creating. So I can say whatever name I want, begin. So you want to put public, anyway, I'm going to remove it. Anyway. So just put it. So I remove everything here and a copy from this file. Control A is selecting all of it. Control C, copied. Control V, pasted. So the begin, is in the math class is included. So begin. Okay. So now the class is like a big integer, right? That's what the class is, big integer. Okay. All right. So now I close this one. Don't save it. Okay, I don't remember what I did, so that I don't save it. So run it. So look at it here now. So what is supposed to be a positive value, it became a negative value. Can you tell me why it is a negative value? So let's do it here. Let me show you to what it is. What he's doing. So always need to understand before just explaining what it is. So the main method is somewhere here. See that here? Main method is here. Okay, agree with me? And there is another method here. So how many methods you have in this class here? I think 3 methods you have. One is main, another is big integer, factorial. I'm sorry, factorial. Another is factorial. What is the difference between this factorial and that factorial? There are 2 factorial, right? Do you agree with me? Yes or no?
Yes.
This is factorial n. N means new. This is factorial. So both are not the same names. Both are different names. Do you agree?
And the return also it's different.
Pardon?
The return type it's
But the
different.
return type is not really recognized as, a function signature. Signature includes the name of it and the number of variables or the number of arguments and the type of argument. That's the only signature. The return type is different in our case, but the thing is that this is not really recognized as 2 different methods. So if I take out this one, it's overloaded, you see, but it's a syntax error right away. Okay. You understand me, right? So
Yes.
suppose you change the type of it, there will be no syntax error. Okay, either type is different, long, a problem now, but you put another variable, integer x, even though you really didn't. So no syntax error. While calling, you will have a syntax error because you need to put a value for it, but one not for the definition. So I put n here instead of. So the difference between this is a regular factorial. So we are using a primitive. Primitive has a size. How many bytes is long?
8.
8.
8 bytes. 8 bytes is a very big number. Okay. So, but this big integer, factorial. So let's try to do what he's doing here. He's calling factorial 50. What did he do? 50. So he got the results of factorial 50 using a big integer. You got the result. Whereas, using the primitive, it became negative number. Why negative number? So 64 bits, is it not 8 bytes means what? 64 bits. If the 64th bit is 1, then it becomes a negative number. It will recognize as a negative number. Okay, 64th bit is 1. So because the negative numbers, right? So all high order bits will be 1 because of 2's complement. So let's put 150. A very big factorial. 50 itself, you're getting wrong results. I think 20 itself. See, they became 0 here. So after the 1 is gone, So it's 150 though. It's factorial 150. Okay, it's not 50. Factorial 150. I didn't write here. Factorial 150. You got a very big number. Big integer gave a result, but big, you know, the long is gone with the wind. You understand, right? Look at it. Big integer. Factorial 150. So how big a number? Incredible, right? All right. Is it clearly understood to you? So multiply is a function in the big integer. Whereas in the primitive, you can just use multiply. But a primitive has a problem.
This is
You know-
for what?
Pardon?
This is for what exactly?
Can someone explain me, please? Thanks for asking a question, but other people, I hope they're following.
To find the factorial for a number,
Yeah.
big number or small number. It's
Yeah.
application.
You see, what we want to do is we want to demonstrate that, you know, big integer is not big, and the primitive is not enough. Primitive. If you want to find, yeah, you see, for example, use a primitive. You are using a primitive. This finding a factorial using primitive here. Look at it. You just, what is a factorial? 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 6 multiplied. Keep on doing until the number for finding a factorial of that number, right? For example, factorial 5, what is it? 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 5, right? Is it factorial 5? You know factorial, right?
Okay, yeah.
So factorial is just multiplication of all the numbers below it and including it, right?
Yeah.
So, and if you do that, so the result is going to be a long again. So the result is going to be kept in long. So I think if we go to factorial 20, it's 50 itself, you know, you have a negative number, which means that the result is not right, which means it overflowing. Whereas a big integer will work. It will not overflow. Okay.
Mm.
So when you go to a grocery shop and you carry one small bag and then you fill everything, you can't put anything more than that. But you have an elastic bag, it can become bigger and bigger as you put more and more. So that means you can carry more things, right? That's what it is. So big integer is like an elastic bag for you. It will become as big as you want. Okay. All right. Size
What
is
if
not
you use-
decided at the beginning and it keeps on changing its size. At the very beginning, big integer 1. Okay. And you multiply. And you're creating a new big integer. Here, look at that. Every time. So that means it's elastic for you.
Okay.
So you are creating, oh no. The integer here you converted to a big integer and you multiply with the number. So this one I put integer here. So but that becomes a big integer. So big integer is multiplied by big integer. So that's why I wrote down there.
Which becomes a big.
Yeah, and again it is elastic. Okay, when you multiply function is going to make sure that what is the result? The result is going to be kept in a big integer. So it will be automatically kept, elastic. So actually factorial 20 itself is going to make it, factorial 20 may work. Let me check. I know around 20, it won't work. So both should get exactly the same numbers. So I got both of them exactly the same numbers. See that here?
Yeah.
So 20, you got exactly the same number. Everything worked perfectly fine. Let's make a 30. 30 won't work. 30 itself is negative number or something. Factorial 30. If my memory Maybe my memory is not right. Let us see here. 30. See here, already negative number. So that means it's not working. 25. I think 25 also doesn't work. Okay. I think 25 doesn't work either. 21 may work. Oh, it didn't work. Look at the number. The values are wrong, which means incorrect. Incorrect values. 25 didn't work. 23. Long is a big number. 8 bytes. Still, you have a problem. See that here. So it didn't work. 23 also didn't work. 22 and 21. Maybe 21 works. 22 may not work. I'll put X. I don't want to really do every time changing it. 22. Okay, negative already. See that here, so it doesn't work. To 21, I think probably works. $20 worked, right? 20 got you correct value. Yeah, 21 also didn't work. Exactly 20 worked actually. So only this. So 20 is like a magic number where the factorial works. But in fact, this is a long. But if you put a integer, for example, then result is an integer, then it won't work even 20. Even 20 won't work. If it is an integer. Long, yeah, it works. See, it worked perfectly fine. 20 worked, but not more than 20. But you put for example, here you put, instead of putting it long, you put an integer. Okay. Right. So if you put an integer, I don't think 20 even works. 20 doesn't work.
You have to change the condition, no?
See here, look at that.
Oh, it still works.
It doesn't work because 20, the 4-byte value won't be able to fill in it. So long, yes, works. See here, long. I'm returning a long also. You can put an integer in a long, but not a long in an integer.
Okay.
It's perfectly fine. Okay, all right, you are understanding it. So that's what is important. So you know that there is a class called big integer, big decimal. So, and string class. So let's try to understand the string class. Maybe you already done some string class, right? Okay. This is called regular, just a C-type association, assignment. So technically speaking, this is what you need to write. Okay. So people keep writing like this because we know that. Okay. But there is a difference between this one and that one. There is a difference. This is called interned string. What is it? Yeah, interned. Internally organized. He remembers that you define once, he will keep that. Okay. If you define again the same thing, he won't create a new one. I don't know why they did that. So concatenation is concat. String concatenation. Okay. And a substring. There is a method called substring. If you create only index, starting from the index till the end. So you can actually start index you can give, end index you can give. That means you can pick. So for example, string 0 and 3, and you have welcome to, for example. So you get WEL. Oh, no, yeah, that's it. I think not including 3. This is including, I think, what is it excluding? Okay, you should check it. Even me, I don't remember all the time. So, okay, you always have to check it. So string, literal, anything that you want to write down string. So that's what it is. So this is, shorthand writing, but this is interned string. So string is immutable. The object size is immutable. Okay. So that means Java is Java. It's immutable, right? So you can't increase to 5 characters. When you created 5 characters, it is 5 characters. That's it. Suppose you created this here like that, and you created HTML. So HTML is a new string here. So that means when you associate it like that, the old thing is gone and the new thing is assigned here, which means that this becomes a zombie. Garbage collector will come and then really delete that object Java. So first time when you created is what it is. When you assign the second time, you created a new object and then actually assign the value here. So it doesn't need to be 4 bytes. It's not written down on this 4 byte HTML is not written. Is it clearly understood?
Yes.
Okay. Integer x equal to 5. 5 is here. You understand me? X equal to 7. So the same memory, you wrote down 7. Whereas in the case of class type, it's not the same. When you declare this one, this is what is done. This is what is done. So reference is assigned. That doesn't change. It is the same location, and it is on the stack. And this one is on the heap, which is the object. When you are done here like that, reference is assigned to. So this is a type string. So you can only assign to a string. So the right hand side is a string, but the string, okay, even though it's a 4 bytes, you're not going to write down on the same. So created a new object, and this is 5,000, for example. That is 5,000. So later on, it was 5,000. So 5,000, but when a minute you have done that, is 7,000. So you write down 7,000. So that means this one is not referenced by anybody. Okay. So you know what? Java maintains a hash table. So and he goes there where that object is located, and then he deletes that object automatically for you. Unreferenced. See the unreferenced? Unreferenced objects are like zombie. Unattended baggage in the airport will be collected and deleted or destroyed. Immutable. Interned string. See that interned string? So I'm going to give you the difference between interned string. This is interned string. This is interned string. This is a regular string. So when you define this one, okay, so interned string S1 is this one. Welcome to Java. So when you did this one, you allocated explicitly another string. Even though content is exactly the same, he doesn't compare it. But when you wrote down this one, he knows that you already defined a string called welcome to Java, which is the first one, and then it is only pointing to the same one. I don't know why he did that like that. Interned string. Why should has to differentiate it? Okay. So if you want to compare them, these references are compared. This is the same reference. It's going to be S1 equal to S2. Yeah, the S1 and S2 are not the same. S1 and S3 are the same. This is reference comparison. Okay, Bilal, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what the purpose of making string immutable in Java.
The reason is to allocate memory, and you don't change that memory again. That's the only reason. Nothing else. So, but if you want to be mutable, so you have a string buffer and other classes available. So you can do it. Okay, we'll do that and look at it in few minutes now. So first time you actually interned string. Second time, This is not an interned string. That means two different objects are created. So the third time you created, so that means it's already allocated. So it doesn't really allocate again. So that's what it is. Execution of the second. And the first, third one, you already have the interned string, the same content. If it is not the same content, it will be different one. You'll create a new one. So replacing and splitting. So that means you can take a string, okay? Replacing means actually, creating a new string. So look at it, replace. So so welcome is anonymous object. Object that doesn't have a name, okay, explicitly is anonymous. Technically speaking, the dot notation is for the reference. When you write a string, it always gives you reference. Reference dot replace. So welcome. And your new string which you got is this one. You understand me? It returns a new string. You can also write down, okay? So string x equal to welcome and x dot replace. You can do that, no problem. X dot replace. Okay? That means it's going to be giving a new string which is replaced with E is replaced with A. So E is replaced with AB. Okay? Only first one. Replace first. If you don't put the first, you'll replace all. See, first one is replaced and the last one is also replaced. So EL is replaced with AB. So EL is replaced with AB. Okay. So tokens. You want to create tokenizing. Look, these are all functions. Pedro is joining us. Okay, these are all functions. You want to split based on the delimiter, which is hash. So that means this is one token, this is another token, this is another token. You want to put three tokens. This is like a token. So when you actually wrote down like this, okay, split is a function that works on a string. This whole thing is a string. You don't need to write like that. You can write down that x equal to string, x equal to whatever it is here, right? Java, blah, 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 whatever is written down here. And you write down x dot, no problem. You can find out. So it gives you as many tokens as they are available here. There are three tokens, 1, 2, 3 of them. You got them and you're printing them. Printing means printing the references. So you got this result. Okay. N as the number of strings possible. All right. So regular expression is very powerful feature. Regular expression. It comes from the language called Perl. Did you hear about Perl?
No.
I was teaching a language called Perl. McGill University, they asked me to teach. Perl is very powerful language. Scripting language. Very powerful. Very powerful. Okay. So you can actually use Perl for data, parsing. So that regular expression is, the concept came from Perl language, originated from Perl language. So, and then you will be able to do a lot more things that normally people don't do. So matches Java, it's true. Okay. So Java equals to Java equals matches. There are two functions with the string. Okay. So Java is fun. Java star. Matches will work, but equals don't work. Equals compare the content as it is. Matches will look for the wildcard and tries to match with the wildcard. That's a big difference. You understand me? The difference between a method called matches and a method called equals which is in the string class. They are available to you. You don't need to write. They're available to you. You can directly use them. Where are they?
String class.
String class. Inside the string class, so you have a method called matches. You have another method called equals. Matches will look for the wildcard. Okay, with wildcard, without wildcard, matches will work. Equals doesn't work with the wildcard. Equals has to be exact content. Replace all, replace first. So if you want to really use the regular expression, right? Regular expression, you put the conditions in the square brackets. So this one, that one, this one, any of them can become the delimiter. And you want to replace with what? N. Whenever you find a dollar sign, see, look at that. If you put this is a string. What is a string? This is a string. So A, N. Okay, because plus is going to be replaced with N. Dollar is going to be replaced with N. And a hash is going to be replaced with N. Any of them you find here, you replace. So instead of writing down 3 different times, replace, you can actually replace all at once. Is it understood or no?
Yes.
So this feature is, okay, regular expression feature, right? Look at that now here, split. So any of them here, look at that. This is the string. Starting from here to the end here, this is a string. Okay. And you want to take any of them and you want to split. That means it makes 2 tokens. So comma is a delimiter. So Java is a token. Question is a delimiter. C is a token. And a hash, I don't have it. So, but that's it, I think. So that's finished. So C plus. So what you get is Java, C, C++, C sharp, and this is a comma. You have to split. So that means C++. So this is what the output is. Is it clearly understood?
Yes.
Okay. ToString. ToString. You already know what ToString is, right? Oh no, you convert to not that ToString I was talking about. Sorry. So I can't see my screen myself. You will see, but the Zoom has a bar which always blocks my view. Convert character and number to strings. You want to convert character and numbers to strings. You can convert to strings. So string dot value of, you see what I mean? Double to string. Okay. So return the value of the string consists of 5.4 and 4. Okay. All right. The string, he didn't write well. Let me write it for you. 5.44. That is the string you want to do. You put character, 4 characters. String is set of characters. There is another method called string builder. String builder. Yeah, we still have time. So I know that you probably want to stop at this point of time because there is a very important topic here, the string builder. String builder and string buffer. There are 2 classes. Bilal, you were asking me earlier, right? I want to have a dynamic thing or something. He will make you dynamic. String buffer and string builder. In programming, right? Project managers don't really take, failure of a project. Sometimes they even spend a lot of money to complete a project. So sometimes you give the same work to 2 different people because one guy may not be able to do. Then the other guy who does it, I'll be able to use it. But your team probably is better team and then both may be finishing them. then means you end up with two different answers. You understand me? And you release both of them. So that's what happens most of the time. So string builder is created by some team, string buffer is created by another team, string itself is created by another team. Whichever happened to be first one, probably string guy completed first and then released it. People got used to it, and then string builder and string buffer, even though they are more powerful, people don't use them. Okay, string builder, string buffer. So there are alternatives to string class. So there is, if you don't want to use the string class, and you can use string buffer and string builder. Okay, string builder is a class, string buffer is another class. Okay, you can do add, insert, append. You can do a lot more things that you cannot do with a string. Okay. So string builder, the capacity, you have 16 characters more, you always have. Empty string, you create an empty string, it creates a capacity of 16. So he always makes more characters inside. Yeah, if you ask for 10 bytes, maybe like he gives you 26 bytes. So 16 bytes more. So you want to buy potatoes, you buy a carry bigger bag so that you can put potatoes and tomatoes. I'm joking. So that means you are carrying a little bit bigger bag than that you require. String is going to get you exactly the same size, whereas string builder is going to get you 16 bytes more. Okay, so you can do append, delete, but if you try to append more than 16 bytes, that means you have to create a new string builder. Okay, so that means create a new, and then again he puts more than 16, more 16. So up to 16 he keep on adding. Beyond 16 he has to create again new one. So you can do append 4 bytes, no problem. Okay, so you want to insert at location 11. So whatever you give, you insert. So you have a string, and in that string you're going to insert. So that string is created with string builder. So you can delete certain characters here. So it's starting from the beginning. So 11 up to 11. Delete. Changes the builder. Welcome to Java, right? Welcome to Java. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do you agree with me? 9, 10, 11. Okay. So starting from 8, not including 11, up to 11, not including 11. So you want to delete it. So that means you're deleting all that. So what you got is welcome space Java. You understand me? Hello?
Yes.
So you're deleting location 8 to 11. 11 is not included. Delete only one character 8. Okay, T is 8. So you get this welcome. T is gone. So reverse them. So what you got is welcome to Java. So reverse it. Okay. So see here. WELCOME space character TO space character JAVA. So you reverse it. So easy, right? Isn't it? Reverse. Replace. You want to replace. So welcome to Java, whatever you have. And then you want to replace from 11 to 15. So 11, 12, 13, 14. So there are these positions are going to be replaced with HTML. So instead of Java, you're going to change it to HTML. So you get welcome to HTML. Is it clearly understood what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So set the character at location 0, so to W. So that means instead of capital letter, it become a lowercase letter. So to string and capacity, the length, it gets you the length, returns the capacity of the think the size of it, right? You can actually put in. Length is the actual length of the string. Capacity is including the buffer, at the end, characters, the total. Set length, set character, set character yet. You can get the character yet, a particular location. See character yet. So people use this. Okay. Checking palindrome. You know palindrome means?
No. I don't know.
Palindrome means Tala is not a palindrome. Talat is a palindrome. Palindrome means first character, last character exactly same. Next character exactly same. Next character exactly same. You understand me? So that is a palindrome. So T, A, L, X, L, A, T. This is also palindrome. This and last one is exactly same. This and the last but one is not exactly same. Exactly same. It's the center one always. So odd number of characters, palindrome. Even number of characters, palindrome. Palindrome means, that's what palindrome means. Okay. Ignore non-alphanumeric, whatever it is, palindrome. You're checking in palindrome, ignore. So that means, he's going to capital letter, small letter, he ignores case. Ignore case. Is palindrome. Is true or false? He's going to check true or false. I can write this program if you wish. So he's going to check first one and the last one, right? Is it okay? So is palindrome. You took a string. You took a reverse of that. You see what I mean? And you're comparing both of them. You understand me? Both are equal. That means it's a palindrome. Do you agree with me? Yes or no?
Yes.
When you reverse it and you compare them, or you take the first character, last character, both are same. You understand me? It's an easier way of checking the palindrome, right? Is palindrome. You understand me? Yes or no? Okay, let me give you the example earlier here. I did the example here. So is it not, you take the reverse of this one. Is it not allowed again? Reverse it. Same thing. You get the same thing. So reverse this one. You get the same thing also. So palindrome. So you'll get the palindrome. You reverse it, both are equal. Okay. You can't equate S1 equal to S2 because if you do S1 equal to S2, it won't be. You know why? Because S1 and S2 are references. You want to compare equals method. You need to use equals method. It can compare the contents. Okay. Yes or no?
Yes.
So filter. So new string is eliminating the alphanumeric characters. Ignore alphanumeric characters, right? You take the string builder. So this is the reference of that builder, whatever you created. So creating a new string builder, empty one here, right? Didn't put anything in here. So that means creates empty one. And then you want to append character. Where from are you getting the characters? Yes dot. Where is my yes? Yes, I gave you. If I give you a string, you can convert that to a string builder by append. So take the character. If the character is letter or digit, so you're calling another method called letter or digit. You're comparing this letter or digit, and then only you are actually using it. So where is my letter or reverse is here, right? Oh, reverse, he didn't use the regular reverse one. So he actually wrote a reverse here. But finally he will use a reverse here. Look at that. String reverse. So you have a string reverse. Where is my ignore? Palindrome is palindrome. Filter. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the method called is letter or digit. Yeah, is letter or digit is inside the character class. Character class is wrapper class. That's why he didn't write here. So you understand whatever it is, right? You can look at it, ask me question again. You don't understand anything. Okay? Or we went through a little bit faster. So you can come back and ask me the following class. String builder construct. String builder is more powerful, obviously, right? It allows you to do a lot more things. Okay? Regular expression. Regular expression rejects. Okay? So regular expression is rejects. So you have a class called regex. It'll allow you very powerful actually to be able to. So normally, advanced programmers only use the regex, right? So for the course point of view, I don't encourage you to use regex because life becomes very simple with regex. So matches. So matches for sure. Equals matches for sure. I think I already looked at it, no? Java is fun, matches Java star. Because matches will work, but equals doesn't work, right? Java is cool, Java star. Java star matches with any of the additional extension that you have there. So, Java matches Java. So you take that, look at it here. Specify the character X. Matches and equals, right? Okay. Maybe in the next lecture class, we'll look at the last slide. This is the last slide. Okay. Or I'll leave it. Normally, we don't teach I think I still have 2 more slides. Okay. I'll go to the next slide. Okay. Replacing and splitting strings. Okay. So replace all. We already looked at it. Replace first. Okay. So you are using V. Okay. With W, I think, right? Look at it here. So V is replaced by W. No, V. So Java. So you replace it with V is replaced with V, right? You look at that V. So V and any other character. So that means 2 characters are replaced. Any other character. Okay. Replaced with WI. You have to test it, each time. You don't remember this. Unless you have an open book, you won't remember this. Okay, I don't expect you to remember. Okay. So replace first, only first one. Okay, so this is only first one. And a split with D. Okay. So Java split. So any digit you have, D mean digit, right? Any digit you have, so you replace it. Any digit like a 1, 2, 3, 4, any number. So this is a better than the very specific value that you want to keep. So that means hash, not hash, slash is going to tell you additional feature, more powerful feature. So you are actually dividing, splitting into 3 tokens there. So 1, 2. Okay, that's it for now. For today. 1 second, I'll be back again. Hello, everyone. So that's it for today, right? Sorry for I should have said that, but this phone call there. So enjoy your day, and in the next lecture class we will continue.
Okay.
Thank you,
Have a nice
Professor.
afternoon, sir.
Welcome. Have a nice
you.
afternoon. So we will try
Thank
to
you,
write an
sir.
next class. We'll try to write an assignment. I think the previous assignment is good enough for this one. Maybe strings related assignment, something we can do. Okay. Enjoy your day, and that's about it. And then I'll follow the inheritance polymorphism in the next class.
Thank
Write
you.
an assignment. Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good day, sir.
Welcome. You too. Enjoy
Thank
your
you.
day. Thank you. Bye now.